At the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls, New York. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a classic arch rivalry matchup between the Newark Reds visiting the Mynderse Academy Blue Devils. I'm Dave Barnick, along with Kevin Korzaneski, courtside here at the Seneca Falls Gymnasium. And both teams on the fringe of contending for the Finger Lakes Eastern Division title. Meanwhile, about 7-8 miles west of here, two undefeated teams, Geneva and Wayne, will go at it. Mynderse looking forward to rebound against two early season losses against both those teams after tonight's game. But first, Kevin Korzaneski, they have to get by the Newark Reds. Good evening to you. Happy New Year to you. What do you look for in tonight's matchup?
Oh, good evening, Dave. Glad to be back with you again. Well, I look for Mynderse to live and die with it. You know, that's the story of this Mike Fields' legacy here is the three ball. And if Mynderse comes out and they can shoot the three, I think we'll have a good night. Newark's really got to get up on the perimeter and in Newark fashion play tough man-to-man defense. If they can do that, make Mynderse put the ball on the ground, I think Newark will have a good shot. If not, watch Mynderse did a lot of threes. And really, Dave, the loser of this game is out of the title contention in the Finger Lakes East.
I think that's a very fair statement. And as you well know from your experience over the years and as a player, Newark had that great basketball tradition for many, many years and a long line of ultra successful coaches and teams going back to Gary Miller, Gary Seeger, Mr. Sarabola, who's here on the bench, and of course now Bob Havrillo, who actually got his team in his first year as coach all the way to the New York State basketball finals.
That's a good way to start.
However, I don't know if you caught any of the game either in person or the fine job that Brendan and Verk did the other night in Geneva. It seemed to me that even when Newark did things right, they couldn't really sustain things against a stronger, more athletic, deeper Geneva High team. And they also shot very poorly. Newark, I think, must shoot well from the perimeter tonight to hang in there with Mynderse.
Yep, Newark got a little frustrated the other night, and that happens when a team comes out and shoots so well against you. Newark was excited that the #1 team in the league was coming in, and you could tell Geneva came to play. They shot well, and Newark lost his composure. Couple minutes each quarter, and that's all it took when Geneva was shooting that good.
Yeah, not only after one quarter, the game was 16-12 in favor of Geneva the other night, and then they outscored the Newark Reds 24-12 in the second quarter, including the last 6 points of the second quarter and the first 16 points of the second half. So although that score turned out to be a 73-59 final, the game really wasn't nearly that close.
No. Geneva at times had the game up to 30 points, 28, 30 points most of the second half. They played outstanding. They really played good. They're such a tough team to match up with their height, athleticism, and every guy on the court can put the ball in the hole.
Now, I saw Mynderse in their season opener, a league opener here, on a most impressive run and gun win over Pelmac. And since that time, Jimmy Rickey has continued to light it up from 3-point range. In fact, looking at the stats, he's had 12 two-point field goals. He's had 37 three-point field goals this year. And of course, he's just one of many cogs.
Yeah.
Luke Ruddy being the leading scorer at about 18 points a game.
Yeah, Jimmy's having a great year, and he reminds me a lot of myself. A little undersized, hustles on every play, and more threes than twos. And that usually means you're one heck of a shooter, or you're too small to take it inside.
So two well-coached teams, and of course, I would think Mynderse, they're the defending champions, and they very much want to keep their championship hopes alive, and both teams also looking ahead to the always important postseason Section 5 play.
Both teams with an outside shot still. Probably not a great shot at the division title, but still an outside shot. And I would say the loser tonight is definitely eliminated, because either Geneva or Wayne's going to win tonight, and one of those two teams is going to end up either undefeated or with one loss.
Now, I get a little mixed up with the sequence of years sometimes, but did you play against Bob Havrilla, or was he a little bit after you?
No, and I believe when I was a JV player, Bob Havrilla was the JV coach. Now, I coached against Bob Havrilla when I was at Waterloo. For a year, I coached JV, and he was the coach for Newark.
Well, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the start of this one between Mynderse and Newark.
Attention Finger Lakes residents, have you been injured and deserve compensation? Call Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys. Your case deserves personal attention. At Mynderse and Ricky, they know you by name, not just a number on a folder. Call the Finger Lakes Personal Injury Hotline at 315-568-0911. That's 315-568-0911. Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys.
The Newark Pilots. See tomorrow's Major League stars today. For more information, go to newarkpilots.com.
The most valuable things are always passed down from generation to generation. It's true for your family, and it's true for our bank. For more than 140 years at Generations Bank, it's what we do, and what we'll continue to do for generations into the future. We might look different now, but in the important ways, we're exactly like we've always been. Stop in your local branch or go to mygenbank.com.
Newark and Mynderse about set to tip off after starting introductions here momentarily, the starting lineups. And I think I last saw you at the Waterloo girls game, and they have continued their winning ways ever since that, Kevin. They're undefeated.
Waterloo is rolling. They are rolling. They're playing great, great defense, great offense. And I think they're going to be hard-pressed to lose a league game. Maybe up at Geneva. Geneva on the road will be tough, and if Newark's girls return, the Lauer girl comes back, that's also going to be a tough matchup as well.
Well, Phil Tack, who came off the bench the other night, is starting. He was disciplined and he did play and scored, I think, 10 points in the loss to Geneva. But he's back there tonight, and they got a good game from the 6'2" senior Anthony Lombardi. But they missed an awful lot of perimeter shots. And now Mynderse being introduced with, we expect it to be Brandon Pasalacqua, the great distributor, along with Jimmy Rickey.
Well, it looks like Liam Kerher is going to get the start tonight for Mynderse, Dave.
Instead of
well, maybe Anderson. I'm not sure. There's Rickey. Rickey starting at guard spot.
And Luke Ruddy, who's had a tremendous year, and I would think if he continues to improve to match the outside shooting of his teammates, they will be very tough as the year continues to progress.
You know, I watching this Mynderse team throughout the year, and the one person I'm really impressed with, and Luke's done a good job the last couple years on varsity, but he's been a role player. He's really worked on his jump shot, strong inside, he can go right and left, and he's having one heck of a year. You know, I think some Division III colleges are probably starting to take notice of his numbers. He's got the height, and if he can continue to play as well as he has, you know, maybe he'll end up playing some college ball in the next couple years.
No doubt that would please his father, who does a great job at the Chiropractic College and assists here with the basketball team. So we're just about set. Glad you could join us, and hope you enjoy this evening's action. And Newark wins the tip. This is Tyler Collins, little 5'8" sophomore, and he loops it over in the corner. And Mynderse looks like they're in a zone to open.
1-3-1 zone to start, and we have 3 sophomores on the floor starting the game.
A lot of, it seems more teams are going to that 1-3-1 zone than I've noticed in the past.
Maybe they see how well John Beeline's doing up at Michigan. But he's not really running a lot.
I'm predicting a Michigan-Syracuse matchup at some point in the Final Four.
That would be nice. A little local flavor.
Rickey harassing the sophomore Collins.
And one thing Mynderse doing a little bit different, they got Ruddy on the wing instead of the top today in that 1-3-1, so Coach Fields made a little adjustment there.
Slapped
we'll
away.
See how that works out.
Pasalacqua, he knows what to do with it. Rickey, and missed and knocked out of bounds to Newark.
Yeah, Rickey with a quick 3, rolled in and out, but that's not going to stop him from shooting. He'll put up 8 to 10 more of those tonight, no matter what happens.
Several times, Mynderse has crashed through the 80-point-plus threshold, and there's a Newark turnover. And a slow start. Well, we're only 50 seconds into the game, but a couple of turnovers each way. Pasalacqua, a very engaging young man, leading the team in assists, takes it to the right side. Looking, finds Miller open, 15-footer, swish.
Yeah, that's good for Connor to step out and hit that jump shot. And if they come out and guard him, then they have a high-low dump down to Luke Ruddy. So that's a very important shot for Mynderse. And Connor Miller is just having a fantastic senior year.
And that active zone forcing Newark to keep it on the perimeter. Now driving it and losing his balance and footing, and an air ball saved by Mynderse. Now a scramble for it, and Newark gets a new shot clock and a whistle.
Foul on Rickey. Got a hold on Jimmy Rickey. You know, back to Connor Miller, he you know, had an ACL tear, I think, the beginning of his junior year. Didn't play a lot last year, came in spurts, but you know, he's really stepped it up, close to averaging double figures a game, and that's a couple big bodies in there for Mynderse.
On the perimeter, strong shot by Collins, and here comes Mynderse. Pasalacqua, looping it in now. Ruddy, turning, nice dump off, laid up and in, and Miller, the recipient of a great feed from teammate Ruddy.
That's something that Luke has done well in all 3 years now at varsity, is he's always been a pretty strong passer.
Morris's shot won't go, and it's out of bounds to Mynderse. Morris, by the way, received a technical foul in the game in Geneva. And It's kind of an interesting point in the game that he got it, just a little frustration.
And he was fouled on the play, which I was surprised. They called the foul, and I don't know if he was frustrated with the officials, but frustration had leaked through, and he lost his cool, and that kind of summed up the evening for the Reds the other night.
Ruddy kind of bodied out from his usual range. The little jump hook won't go. Lombardi dish off and stripped. Here comes Pasalacqua. 1-on-3 break says, it don't matter. It don't matter to me, but he missed the shot, and Newark will take it the other way. 4-0 your score. Glad to have you with us. Dave Barnick, Kevin Korzaneski, producer, director, Finger Lakes One owner Jim Sinacropi, and of course our man Jeremy Hunt of the Baltimore Blast on the camera.
I don't think anybody's heard about the Baltimore Blast in a few weeks.
Well, Baltimore may get blasted this weekend as Lombardi with a nice little
hard-nosed, blue-collar Lombardi. I like watching him play. He's a very tough kid, active, always seems to be around the ball.
Got that little Anthony Varejao look.
He's got the name for Seneca Falls. Maybe he'll have a big night.
The first bucket of the night for the Reds, and that cuts the lead in half, 4-2.
Trying to ISO Connor Miller inside. Every time Mynderse puts that fist up in the air, they're trying to get an ISO inside.
Karaher for three. Off the iron, no, tipped up, no, and Lombardi clears. He wants to take it himself. And the big guy, the coach is yelling, get rid of it.
He's going to have his hands full in there. He's trying to take care of the Twin Towers and Connor Miller and Luke Ruddy. He got the rebound. He said, I'm working hard. My turn to bring it up.
We're approaching the 4:20 mark of quarter number one from Seneca Falls. Pasalacqua to Ricky, and Ricky's bomb misses badly. And near steal, and they do get it. Ricky, Pasalacqua looking, leaving, Connor Miller, no. Tapped up, no, and Lombardi clears the iron. So opportunities by the wayside early here for the Academy, and hard foul on Miller will send Micah Wright to the line.
Michael Wright's a very good athlete. He watched him the other night in the Geneva game. He's a tough guard as well. Connor tried to go up and block it, just couldn't get up quite as high and hit him on the arm.
Nice form from the line.
Well, Mynderse has started the game 0 for 4 from the three-point line, Dave. And, you know, that's something I think we need to keep on all night. You know, if they don't have one of those quarters where they get 2 or 3 threes, they're going to be in for a struggle in a long evening.
Well, they shot the three ball like Ray Allen in our opening broadcast versus Pelmac, and they've been just as cold as Wright ties things up from the foul line. Karaher gets it back, and now Ricky will reset the offense. Looks for a pick, leaves for Pasalacqua. Brandon inside Ruddy. Wheels, turns, Kevin McHale's shot, up and in. Nice low post move. Very nice.
Yeah, it's just a great drop step. He turned, he got a shoulder square, went up with his left hand, which is not a strong hand, and he makes it look easy.
Lombardi misses, good effort, won't go. Deep rebound and a foul.
That's another fouler on Miller. He's got 2 quick ones. See what coach does to counteract with those 2 fouls.
I would think with 2 fouls in the first quarter, that usually means a little pine time. Happy to be with you here tonight, along with Kevin Korzaneski.
Well, if Micah Wright and Lombardi can get these 2 big guys in foul trouble for Mynderse, I don't think they have much size on the bench. He'll come back with a quicker, smaller team, but that might play in Newark's favor on the boards.
David Stone and Jamie Rosser enter the contest. And Miller, as we suspected, will take a seat.
Jason Anderson checks in for Connor Miller.
Anderson, a fine all-around athlete, can kind of play several positions.
Yeah, Jason can shoot it, handle it, but he's one of the better athletes on the team.
We're knotted at 6. Little pressure by Newark, known for over the years for their full court pressure.
Yeah, it's always kind of been Newark's mainstay, the ability to play man-to-man defense.
Inside feed, Ruddy turns, fires, and lays it in. Cool hand Luke Ruddy with the bucket.
He's tough to stop in there. He's, you know, he can go both ways with the ball, and anybody that can do that with his size and athleticism in the post is going to be a tough guard.
Foul on Jason Anderson, who just came in. Not the kind of foul you want 35 feet away from the basket.
Minders have had a couple of those fouls away from the basket. Down here on the baseline, they've had one, a couple reach out to the half court. But that's their aggressive style, and they live with those fouls.
Outside shot won't go. Scramble for it, and Newark retains possession and a new shot clock.
That's Jamie Rosser off the bench looking for his three.
The bomb will not go from Newark, but the layup short. Layup up and again. Good second effort by Phil Tack.
He's padding his own rebound stats.
And Ricky could have been called for steps. Havarilla thought so. Lobbying in front of us here.
That's going up.
Ricky for three.
There it is.
Yes! Ricky. He didn't lose that number. It's 8-6-7-5-3-0-9. 11-8 the score. And another Mynderse foul. So quickly the fouls are mounting.
They are. They're calling it tight, and let's see if the teams can adapt both ends of the court. I think it's called evenly, but they're calling a lot of tight fouls, and it's a very aggressive game to start. And both teams like to defend very aggressively, so foul trouble could play a part for both teams.
Very good crowd here at Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium, and when you put into the fact that both teams' girls squads are playing tonight in Newark as well, probably would have been close to a sellout.
Yeah, you know, you always have a better crowd when the girls are off or the boys are off. But I'm not impressed with the parking out there. You know, they made some changes here in State Aid, and they took away some parking. Can't find any parking. I don't know who I got to talk to. I'm gonna take care of that. I'll let you know.
I would
next
think
time
you'd
I see
have
you.
preferred parking, Mr. Korzenowski. In fact, we'll get back to that in a second. Lombardi from downtown, the big guy.
He's fun to watch.
There's
Isn't he,
the
Dave?
three, and he ties things up.
He'll muscle with you down low. He'll step out and hit the three. He's a fun player to watch.
He's got 5 in the game for the Reds. Kerr looks inside, finds Ruddy, and he's double teamed and slapped a little bit.
You know, I've watched Mynderse play since Coach Fields arrived, and actually Coach Fields and I coached against each other for 2 or 3 years. And with Ruddy being as dominant as he has so far this year, they really do a good job of trying to get him in the ball, and better of a job than they ever have. They're really trying to pound the ball into him, and I think that's important, and that's going to be a very big key for them come sectional time.
We're down under a minute, and we got a whistle and a reach-in foul. They called it offensively the other way, much to the applause of Coach Bob Havrilla.
Got Jacob Cowles checking into the game for Lombardi, getting him a little blow at the end of the first quarter.
And
he was a star that quarter.
a chance for Newark. Actually, bonus situation, so going to the line will be Jamie Rosser with a chance to give the Reds, I think it would be their first lead of the evening.
Yep, and I did mention that it was getting called on both ends, but as I look up at the scoreboard, 17 fouls for Mynderse, 1 for Newark.
Well, number 11 missed the shot, and 11s remain on the scoreboard, and bodies flying all over the place as Mynderse now will reset. 40 seconds left in the quarter, tied at 11. Ricky, tricky dribbles left side, and we got the 5 count. And
too much dribbling. Too many dribbles. They're really trying to get it down in Luke, and he had his fist up in the air, and I'm not sure what he was waiting for, if he was waiting for the wing to clear out. But a little bit too much time on the ball. Should have got it inside to Ruddy.
So the guy who created the turnover brings the ball up court. That'd be Micah Wright. And the looping pass, dangerous, somehow gets through. The cutter shot is no good by Stone. And scramble for the ball. Newark has yet another chance. 10 seconds left in the period. Little head fake, drives the baseline, shot won't go. And now a Newark foul. And Kevin, I think Mynderse fortunate in some ways to be tied because Newark looks a little more aggressive at this point in the contest.
Yeah, they're a little bit quicker to the ball. They're doing a good job hitting the boards. But Mynderse with a couple threes has 11.
And the period ends. Carrer's 3 was deflected, and the period ends at that point. we're going to ask you to think about your favorite number 11. The score is tied 11 apiece.
I've already got your answer, but if we want to wait till we get back, we can.
And we will be back right after this word from one of our fine sponsors.
Attention Finger Lakes residents, have you been injured and deserve compensation? Call Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys. Your case deserves personal attention. At Mynderse and Ricky, they know you by name, not just a number on a folder. Call the Finger Lakes Personal Injury Hotline at 315-568-0911. That's 315-568-0911. Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys.
The Newark Pilots. See tomorrow's Major League stars today. For more information, go to newarkpilots.com.
Well, one quarter in the books, and it was fast-paced, but not a lot of scoring. And Newark just kept slashing and pounding the boards. Kevin Korzaneski, and find themselves in pretty good shape after period number one.
Well, I think it's what we expected. It's going to be a close game. Neither team, I don't think, will pull away with it. I expect the game to be over the 40s. If the game stays in the 40s or 50s, I think that's Newark's favor. It gets up around 60, 65. I think that plays in Mynder's favor.
So your famous or favorite number 11?
Well, my favorite number 11 would be Bobby Hurley, or number 11 at Duke University. And I grew up as a giant Bobby Hurley fan.
Okay, we'll tell you the correct answer momentarily. Actually, Pasolacqua driving. He's going to throw up the runner left hand just too hard. Scrambling for it is Mynderse, and they'll reset.
And good shot by Pasolacqua. He's had a couple layups, rim out.
Oh, Ruddy with a pretty little jump hook. Nice move, and pretty good defense, just a better offensive move.
He keeps the ball really high. He jumps very well, and he can go right or left. He, I keep saying it, but he really is tough to guard inside, and he's only a junior.
Stone looping it around, and now they get it inside to Rosser. Battle for a loose ball, and this kid, Stone, seems to have a nose for every loose ball that comes out past the foul line.
He's got a lot like Jimmy Rickey on the other side.
Lombardi, yes!
Give him the three. He's got 2 threes now.
I think they did give him a 3. I thought he may have had a foot on the line, but the big guy with 7 first half points to lead all scorers. Karaher looks for Pasolacqua. Brandon driving, throws up a runner, off glass and in. Well, my favorite number 11 played his college football at Morehead State. Phil Simms.
Okay. Well, any good Giants fan would be a Phil Simms fan.
I always liked him. Lombardi again.
Another one. He's on
Dirty
fire.
but good.
Well, Mynder's got to do something to stop Lombardi. Newark's got to do something to stop Pasolacqua's penetration. And here he goes again. He's getting in.
Oh, what a move. Pasolacqua, count the bucket, and one.
They have to limit Pasolacqua's penetration, Newark does, because if he's going to score like that, here's Lombardi for a 3 again.
The thing with Mynder's other big guy on the bench with foul trouble, Ruddy certainly doesn't want to come out on Lombardi if they go man.
Well, they just
because that opens things up.
And they just put him back in. But I think they put him back in for the 1-3-1. And if Pasolacqua continues to get deep into penetration, that's going to open up some threes for Ricky and Karaher and Anderson. So they got to limit his penetration and keep him on the 3-point line.
Brandon with more authority here, opening minutes, second quarter. Lombardi feeling it, high arching shot, halfway down, won't go. Ruddy the rebound, and Ricky the other way. Brandon feeling it a little bit, and what do we got? We got a hold. They were double teaming and fronting. First I thought that was Ruddy, but I think it was Miller.
It was Miller. And a little bit of a touch foul there. Now let those big guys play.
We had a very exciting preliminary game won by, here's some bumping, won by Mynderse. Ruddy gets hacked in the act.
Yeah, I would have liked to have called that JV game. You know, Mynderse and Newark went back and forth, and Seneca Falls had a big 3 by Ryan Major towards the end of the game to give him a 1-point lead, and then Jason Anderson's little brother stepped to the line and missed his first 2 free throws. Coach went back to him, and he nailed the second two to give Mynderse a 3-point win. And it was a really exciting game, bring me back to the old times.
Ruddy misses the first, but gets the second.
And the way this one's going, it might be a close game too, and that's all you want. You want to hope to see a nice, close battle when you come out and do these games.
As Newark will try to tie it up, where a 3-ball would give him the lead, but instead a turnover, and Ruddy comes up with a loose ball, gives it back to Pasalacqua. Looking, fires it to Miller, head fake, off glass, yes.
That was a good look by Pasalacqua. Newark didn't get back to the baseline. He picked up on it, sent it down to Miller, and Miller takes it up with a little bit of authority.
His third hoop of the evening gives Mynderse a 4-point lead. Here's the bomb outside, too hard off the back iron by Stone, and Mynderse the other way, and we got steps.
Yeah, Jason Anderson turned to go, and he had nowhere to go. And shuffled his feet. He should have pivoted before, take a look, see what was going on. And
you know, one thing I did not find out, and I'm just wondering about, since knock on wood, I'm healthy at this moment in time, but I don't know if the flu bug has hit any of these schools.
Well, you notice there's players in and out, and that could be the case. They could be disciplined, but it is going around rampant in our school in Waterloo, and I know it is in Seneca Falls as well. So, you know, it looks like everybody's here and healthy at this game.
But you're right, a lot of quick substitutions as Newark throws it away. How much calmer Ron Cervolo is as an assistant here or a helper.
I asked him before the game if he's gotten any technicals since he started helping out on the varsity bench. He said he was a little nervous when he started. He didn't know if he'd start yelling at the officials or not, but so far so good.
Well, Jason Anderson with a 15-footer left side of the foul line gives Mynderse a 6-point lead. I think that's the largest of the night, and a missed Newark shot. And this is about the same point where in Geneva, Newark started to lag behind, and a turnaround jumper. He went to the bank after hours, and it counts. And a timeout by Newark.
This might be Connor Miller's strongest game of his career, and he's just cutting. Him and Ruddy are just cutting through the lane untouched.
We got a timeout on the court, and we'd like to take this moment to mention Madej, Mynderse, and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys. If you have suffered a serious injury or accident and want personal professional attention, call the Finger Lakes Personal Injury Hotline at 315-568-0911 for a free, no-obligation phone consultation. They've been serving the Finger Lakes and surrounding area since 1945. Visit them online at madejmyndersericky.com.
Well, two things I've noticed here for Newark. One, somebody else besides Lombardi has to step up. You know, Michael Wright hasn't done much this quarter, but Lombardi needs a little help. And Newark's got to body up these big guys inside. They're letting them roam around in the lane far too easy. Pasalacqua's getting in the lane far too easy. And Newark really needs to pick it up on the defensive end.
And having watched them for the first time in that game versus Geneva, a couple of thoughts as Lombardi has it. Here's a 15-footer in the lane. Nice little soft runner by Morris.
Derek Morris. They call him Derek, but that could be one of my favorite names in the league.
We always like that either Walker or Jackson, but Walker is a great public address announcer's name. Basket by Walker. Like David Zinkoff, late of the Philadelphia Sixers. And oh my! Miller assaulted as he goes up, and he'll go to the line for two and a chance to hit double figures.
You know, I'm really impressed with Mynderse. They're trying to get the ball inside. And even there, he was fronted for the first time. Newark switched to the front on Connor Miller. Jason Anderson made a great lob pass over. There was great weak side help, and Jamie Rosser was in good position. He went up, tried to block him, but he did get called for a foul, and after the replay, it was a good call.
And watching Newark, as I started to say, as Miller gets the roll, 2 out of 2 at the line. They missed a lot of good shots, but then you wonder, were they just unlucky or do they just lack really good shooters? And tonight, Lombardi, that's his spot.
Well, yes. He's a really good shooter.
Another 3 for the big guy. He's got 3 trifectas in the period, 4 in the first half.
I think he might have 14 of the 22 points.
That's exactly correct, Mr. K. Special K. Shot is short.
Forced jump shot there by Jason. Work it around, continue to get the ball inside, Minders. You've been hurting him in the paint. Keep on that paint.
Boy, Lombardi better put a hand in his face. Instead, he loops it cross court on the perimeter. Micah Wright goes right side to Collins. This shot won't go, and it's lost out of bounds. 5-point lead. We're down to the 2-minute mark of the second period, and at halftime, Zach Young, Lions head coach, will be over in chat for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think we're going to bring in Zach for a live chat and talk to him a little about the Lions-Clyde game last night.
A tough, grind-out affair in which Lions lost that game by 8, I believe, and I missed. Maybe Jeremy will give us that.
That was Jason Anderson for 3 from the side, and Minders with only its second 3, I think, made, and they have 30 points. So that just goes to show you what a great job Miller and Ruddy are doing inside.
And in traffic, nice little soft one-hander
by the sophomore.
By Collins.
That's Tyler Collins there with a nice running one-handed shot in the middle of the lane.
Good ball movement by the Academy. The Blue Devils, top of the key. And Havroa shouting out instructions actually on the court. I'm surprised one of the officials isn't saying, "Get back, coach, get back."
There's not a lot of room on this sideline.
There's the bomb, yes! And it counts. Ricky, his second tray of the night.
Back-to-back threes for Minders, takes that lead to 9.
As soon as you said they hadn't had many threes, they've nailed a couple.
Well, I think if you're a Minders fan or you're Coach Fields, you got to feel really good about putting them out the amount of points that they have with only 3 threes.
And Ricky with a good form as shown by the replay. Great work by Jeremy Hunt. And Newark will try to work something here. Trailing by 9. Under a minute to play, first half. Near steal, loose ball. Newark has it, driving to the lane, won't go. Rebound, Miller. Set up. Tremendous first half.
And he's out there with 2 fouls too, Dave, let's not forget. Coach trusts him, puts him back in with the 2 fouls, and he's made a difference since he's been back in with those fouls.
Ruddy looks for Miller, finds him on the feed. Fadeaway jumper, rolls off the rim, no. And Newark the other way. Wright leaves for guess who? Lombardi gets the roll. I was about to say not this time, Kevin, but the soft touch by the frazzle-haired Lombardi.
He ran down the court with a little bit of a smile on his face. Sometimes things just go your way.
Great pass, Ruddy from Miller. A great three-man sequence there as Paswalakwa penetrated, dished to Ruddy, Miller, who found Ruddy for the land. And that'll do it. A fast-moving, fast-paced, fun to watch first half. Newark will leave, and Minders as well at halftime. 35-26, 9-point Minders lead, and we'll be back after these timeouts.
Attention Finger Lakes residents, have you been injured and deserve compensation? Call Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys. Your case deserves personal attention. At Mynderse and Ricky, they know you by name, not just a number on a folder. Call the Finger Lakes Personal Injury Hotline at 315-568-0911. That's 315-568-0911. Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys.
The Newark Pilots. See tomorrow's Major League stars today. For more information, go to newarkpilots.com.
The most valuable things are always passed down from generation to generation. It's true for your family, and it's true for our bank. For more than 140 years at Generations Bank, we've it's what we do, and what we'll continue to do for generations into the future. We might look different now, but in the important ways, we're exactly like we've always been. Stop in your local branch or go to mygenbank.com.
And we're back at the Arthur L. Baker Gym with Mynderse coming out to a commanding 9-point lead, 35-26, as you can see. And joining us for halftime tonight, we got a special guest and Coach Zach Young from the Lions, who's just coming off a tough loss to his rival, Clyde Savannah. Zach, how you doing tonight?
All right. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing great, Zach. I'm doing great for a Friday night. Let me ask you something quickly about Newark. I know you coached at Newark under Ron Saravolo. You did your student teaching there, I believe. Yep. So you're here watching the Newark Reds. Give me your thoughts on the first half.
Mynderse really has a size advantage down low, and I think they're taking advantage of it. And they got some easy buckets, nice high-low with Miller and Ruddy a couple times.
Aren't those guys playing great in there?
They share the ball well, they move it well, and and then I know Newark tried to adjust, and they went zone there a couple of possessions, and just kind of pick your poison. Ricky hit a couple threes.
Coach Avarella, they've given up 3 threes to Mynderse. I don't think he'd be down 9 if they've only given up 3 threes to Mynderse. And for those of you who don't know, Connor is we work with Connor in the summertime, Zach and I do. So to see Connor come out after that ACL tear.
Yeah, it's nice to see him playing well.
Not to take a bias or anything, but Connor is a friend of ours, so it's nice to see him. He's playing aggressive, and he's getting his. I didn't know he had this in him. Yeah, I saw him play a couple times. This has got to be his career game.
He looks fully healed, and he looks confident. And
he knocked down a 15-foot jump shot.
Yeah, he's tough. They got a nice high-low,
and they're passing the ball in the high-low very well. They two work great together. Luke Ruddy is a really, really good passer.
He is very unselfish, and the Lombardi kid for Newark is carrying him.
What a half!
How many did he have?
He had 4 threes, so 12, and then he had a couple of. I think he's got 16 of the 26, maybe 18. And
I put on the scouting report, likes the left corner. I think he's got 4 threes from the third from that side. So.
How about the last one with the roll? He dribbled, pulled up, hit it, rolled, and then he smiled the whole way down.
These rims are always friendly.
I love these Mynderse rims. I love these Mynderse rims. So Zach, tell us a little bit about the Lions-Clyde game the other night. You guys, I believe, was 48-40. Close battle all the way through, and then it looks like they pulled away right at the end.
Yeah, I don't think any lead was more than 6 till about the last minute. I think it tied at halftime. Clyde's up 2 going into the fourth. And it was 36-36. They got they made a free throw, and Cam DeSanto made a very difficult shot, 39-36. But a real physical game, and they got ahead by a couple, and we missed a couple free throws. Had to gamble a little bit in pressure, and they executed down the stretch. But it was a well-fought game by both teams, and just unfortunate we couldn't come out with a W.
Now, I know Clyde's got a great team this year, and you guys are good as well. Does that low-scoring game play in your favor, or does that play to Clyde's favor, you think?
I don't know. They scored 115 points.
I saw that against Red Jacket.
So
when I saw the box score and I saw the score, I said to myself, I wonder, if Zach tried to slow that game down a little bit, or if that's just the rivalries and the aggression and the passion.
It's a tough game for the kids to play. If you went, I think both teams were sloppy in some points, but it's just
a little nerves.
It's 700 people right on top of you. It's like playing in your old middle school gym, Waterloo Middle School gym.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of. Playing
that's a great thing.
But it's awesome. It's fun. But teams are sloppy, but real physical play, and we tried to take away their inside game a little bit. They have a definite size advantage on us, and they caused us some problems in our half-court offense for sure.
Now, Trey Johnson wasn't playing. He wasn't in the box score. Did anybody step up? Anybody come, did the team pull together as a group, or did you get any surprise buckets or play out of anybody?
Jake Keogh played really well off the bench for us. He had a passing in his family, and he was in Albany for Tuesday and Wednesday, so he wasn't even at practice for the 2 days before.
Wow.
Came up, played. I think he had like 7.7 rebounds.
That's tough to do if you're not running around. You take a couple days off. And
he played well. Alex Mussolino for us played. Tom Canale is one of the best scorers in our area. He had 15 points, but he earned every one. And he played really, really sound defense. And for a couple of our guys, it was the first time in that situation. So, hopefully we can learn from it and continue to get better. I told him after the game, you can't be upset about your effort. We just got to work on executing a little bit more. And we couldn't throw it in the ocean. Neither could Clyde though either. And a lot of that had to do with the defenses from both teams. I give them a lot of credit defensively.
That's a tough environment. We got Geneva and Wayne playing tonight. I'm interested to see what that score is at the end. If they have the same low-scoring affair, or if those teams get out and go. I know both those teams like to score, so they'll probably be in the 60s.
I think also playing at our place, it's a smaller court. But I think maybe, sometimes some people say that for a higher scoring game, when you have two really good athletic defensive teams, there's not a lot of easy buckets.
Room to get out.
There's not a lot of easy buckets. There's not, even in transition, you can catch up sooner. So I think that played into it. I bet you that game's in the 60s or 70s tonight, though. I've at least played both of them.
Well, listen, we love to have you on. We love to get some live interviews. And, we wish you the best of luck at Lions this year. How about sectionals? You guys, you still got a shot at the Wayne County League, and obviously that's probably your first goal.
Yep.
And if all goes well, that Clyde Lions 2 will be the deciding factor. But for sectionals, who are some other teams that you guys are looking forward to?
In our class is the 1 through 7 seeds. I think the 7 seed has 2 losses. So you got Perry has a very good score, Anthony Ricotta. Perry and Calmon played tonight. I was actually thinking about going down there, but 5-minute scouting trip's better than an hour and a half. I can see them later. And they're good. York won Class C3 last year. They're good. Cuba Rushford, who beat us, is pretty good. It's the toughest C bracket to be in, not to complain or anything, but you're gonna have a tough game in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, no bracket's easy, because even if you're in C or you're in D, you are a C or a D school. So
yes.
A lot of people say, oh, they're in D or they're in C. Well, they're playing the schools their size. So
yeah,
we don't really think any bracket's easy. And we'd like to, here at Finger Lakes 1, wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. And I think we're doing a couple more of your games this year.
Yeah, we got Lions Newark coming up in a couple weeks.
Which I'm interested in seeing that, because you guys have never played, and that'll be fun. So we appreciate your time, and thanks for stopping over during halftime. Good luck the rest of the way. And with that, we're going to take you out to commercial and bring you back to some live action here at the Arthur L. Baker Gym.
Attention Finger Lakes residents, have you been injured and deserve compensation? Call Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys. Your case deserves personal attention. At Mynderse and Ricky, they know you by name, not just a number on a folder. Call the Finger Lakes Personal Injury Hotline at 315-568-0911. That's 315-568-0911. Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys.
The Newark Pilots. See tomorrow's Major League stars today. For more information, go to newarkpilots.com.
The most valuable things are always passed down from generation to generation. It's true for your family, and it's true for our bank. For more than 140 years at Generations Bank, it's what we do, and what we'll continue to do for generations into the future. We might look different now, but in the important ways, we're exactly like we've always been. Stop in your local branch or go to mygenbank.com.
(35-26) at halftime. Newark trailing the homestanding Mynderse Academy Blue Devils by 9. If we get any reports, we certainly would pass them on the pivotal game in Geneva between the two undefeated teams, Wayne and Geneva High. And as we'd said earlier, the winner of this game looks to keep their chances alive for at least a share of the Finger Lakes East title. And of course, Mynderse is a 2-time or 3-time defending champions.
3-time defending champion, Mynderse Academy. And I got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
Best basketball player in the gym right now?
Matt Verke.
Well, Verke's going to get mad at me, but this ref right here is Michael Brown, who was one heck of a basketball player in his day. And he played at Prattsburg State when he won a national title, and played on the Empire teams. And Verke's probably better, but just to bring up that's one heck of a basketball player right there officiating this game.
Well, see, you were able to get back at Verke without even knowing it, because I saw him out in the corridor during your interview with Coach Young. The second half action just underway. And he just asked me if I was able to get a word in during the first half of action.
See, I can sense that stuff. But yeah, just to bring up that Mike Brown is he's an official now. He's been on the varsity circuit for about 4 or 5 years, and he was one heck of a player in his day.
As were yourself, as evidenced by your name on the wall here, commemorating that great championship undefeated season.
Here he goes again. He is still hot, Dave.
Anthony Lombardi now has 19 in the game, and the big guy, Newark's biggest player, has 5 3-point buckets, and Newark coming the other way and Ruddy on the block, but Newark will retain possession.
I tell you what, Anthony Lombardi has just taken over this game for Newark. He's going to catch it on the wing here, and he is confident, and if he misses that shot, I think he might get his own rebound. He has just been everywhere.
And the bank shot was that
Micah Wright, and he needs to help Lombardi out this half. He didn't do much except, I think, 4 free throws, maybe another bucket in the first half, and he's got to step up his scoring.
Ricky, the long 3, and I think they're going to get Ruddy for over the back.
No, I think they got Lombardi. Lombardi with a hold on the way up.
That was a quick 5 points for Newark, so cut the lead from 9 to 4. And a week from tonight, we'll be right back here. It'll be Mynderse entertaining Wayne. The either still undefeated or perhaps once beaten Wayne Eagles, I believe.
And we'll find out tonight. No, they are undefeated and playing Geneva tonight.
Well, depending on what happens tonight.
Yep.
And slapped away. Lombardi's a battler too. I didn't know he had this 3-point prowess.
Oh, he can shoot it. I watched in the game, and he was a good player last year as a junior too. He's one of their better players.
Ruddy needed the court to be about another 20 feet longer, and he would have had an easy 2 as he slapped the ball away.
And they took Kerher, who started the game, is now on the bench, and Jason Anderson is in for him. Jason Anderson had a good half, and coach must have realized that, tried to get him some more minutes the second half.
Open 3 ball, no good. The effort by Wright. And Ruddy finally comes away with it, lost it, and a slapping reach-in foul by Newark, and I think they're going to get Phil Tack on that. We will give you the winners of the divisional NFL playoffs as time permits tonight too, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I know I'll pick them right, but one thing I just learned that Geneva has a commanding 48-24 third quarter lead.
Wow.
So looks like Wayne's going to come out of that one with a loss, and Geneva will remain undefeated unless Wayne really picks it up in the second half.
And they're going to get Ricky on the, or was that Anderson, on the offensive foul.
That was Jason Anderson with a charge. A good position.
From behind, tough to tell the 2 apart. And a chance for Newark. Again, Mynderse starting slow here in the second half, have yet to score. Inside feed, Lombardi head fakes, up and in. And tough position and good little head fake.
Hey, and all of his shots look good. He's having a great night. He might want to stop and get a lottery ticket on the way home. But it's not a lot of luck. He's getting himself in good position. He's knocking down the same consecutive 3-point shots, and now he's taking it inside.
So we got a timeout on the court, 35-33. 5:39 remaining in the third quarter. We'd like to tell you that a Generations Bank, the things you value in a bank are deeply rooted values. They've held for more than 140 years. They've been around longer than Harold Weber. Learn more at mygenbank.com with locations in Seneca Falls, Waterloo, Geneva, Auburn, Union Springs, Phelps, and coming soon to Farmington.
The Generations Bank is everywhere, and I was really glad to see in the paper the other night that they are redoing the old grocery mart in Seneca Falls. Most people know it as the Super Duper. It was the IGA for a while, and they decided to keep that main branch in Seneca Falls. I know they were looking at other options, and they're going to do that, and that's nice of them to do. Keep it in the area.
Forced-up shot by Anderson grazes the rim, and Newark with a chance to tie, or a 3-ball would take the lead. And instead it's stripped by Pastor Lockwood. Good defensive play.
He's got strong hands. Brandon's a very strong kid. He's little in stature, but he is a really solid, strong athlete out there. It was a great steal.
He's sizing up the court as he leaves for Anderson, and now Ricky on the right wing. Would like to get that 3-point stroke, but no opportunity for it there. Brandon with a lane. Leaves for Miller, who passed up the open 10-footer. Shot clock now a factor, down to 5. One-handed, high-arching shot off the back iron And down
He's
through
been
the
doing it
net.
for 4 years, Pasolaka. Every time the clock's going down or the quarter's going down, he always seems to come up with a nice shot inside the paint. That's a big bucket for Mynderse, who are struggling to score.
With 4:40 remaining in the third quarter, their first points of the second half. Open shot, Newark. The shot is short by Morris, tipped up no. Ruddy, bodies flying, and still on the court is one Newark player. Shot no good, but the rebound put up and in by Anderson, and slow to his feet, and now the officials blow the whistle to stop play. Phil Tack was slow to rise. A little bit woozy, perhaps.
Yeah, and Micah Wright's got to make that layup. You know, he's too good of a player to get a point-blank rebound and not put it back in. In a game that's going to be closely contested, in a game that's going to be this tight, you need your better players to make those shots.
Now, was that Ricky on the last bucket?
That was Anderson, I believe, on the last bucket.
Gavrila had went all the way out on the middle of the court, and he's testing the limits right now of one of the officials as the dialogue continues while play continues as well.
Well, and Newark's got to keep their composure. The other night against Geneva, the kids lost their composure, and everyone lost composure, and that, you know, that never helped them out. You know, so tonight it's another tough environment. It's another tough opponent. Let's hope they learn from Geneva and they can buck up here and get a basket, try to calm themselves down.
Well, I saw, you know, the play with Ruddy. He wanted to get Ruddy for clearing out, but I thought it was a good no call.
Yeah, absolutely
myself.
good no call. You know, a kid ended up on the ground. Sometimes kids up on the ground. I agree with you, Dave. It's just got a little physical down there. Newark's really picked up their intensity inside and on defense especially.
And this time, Pasolaka is stolen and driving the lane, losing it. And we're going to have, there's bodies flying all over the place.
Well, you can tell Gavrila gave these guys a nice adjustment at halftime. They're playing much more intense, but now they got to score.
A little bit too unselfish by Pasolaka as he went to the lane and had a clear little lane over the top, over the front of the rim. Instead, tried to find one of his big guys. It may have been Miller. Anyway, Newark down by 6, but has the ball, and looks like Mynderse in that 1-3-1 again.
Yeah, they got Ruddy up top, and they made that switch earlier in the first half.
Lombardi, good shot, won't go.
He's human. It's Lombardi's first miss. I think he made about 5 or 6 in a row there over the stretch of the second and third quarter.
He has 21 in the game.
Having a heck of a night.
And here's the bomb off the side of the basket. No,
that was an ill-advised shot by Stone. He had a guy in his face the whole time. I'm not really sure. That was right in front of us. He didn't have a good look at the hoop.
What you're saying is Stone threw up a brick.
Yes, he did.
We're at the 3-minute mark of quarter number 3. Dave Barnick along with Special K, Kevin Korzaneski, our owner, producer, director, Jim Sinacropi, and of course, Jeremy Hunt. As you see our upcoming broadcasts on the screen, we thank you for joining us and look forward to your continued support of high school basketball.
Let's see what happens here in the last few minutes of the quarter. Newark came out strong. Then this play down here where they missed the easy basket by Micah Wright, and the coach got mad. Mynderse went on a little bit of run from there, 4-0 run, and they stopped Miller. Their defense inside has gotten a lot better of Newark this half.
Miller had 10 in the first half, missed that shot. Zipping it to Lombardi, finds his open teammate from the wing. Bang!
Micah Wright.
Micah Wright for the 3-ball. And it's a 3-point game.
And that's what they need out of Wright. You know, I've been calling for it all game. He's one of their top players, if not their best. And he really needs to pick up his scoring.
And Miller loses the handle. Lombardi starts the break, laying up and in by Wright again with the assist. And Mynderse wants to talk it over as a nice little mini run. Takes the lead to 1 point, 2:20 remaining, 39-38. And we'd like to remind folks, as you look at that replay,
is there anything Lombardi, did he drive the bus, do you think?
He may have. He sliced the oranges at halftime, as we like to say. The Newark Pilots, one of our proud sponsors. See tomorrow's Major League Stars today. Season tickets available at www.newarkpilots.com. And what a pleasure to, and what is that? How do they have?
I got my own spot.
The last time I saw those letters, I was at my eye doctor's, by the way. So
They got our public state championship up there, and you notice the last line. They retired Verkey's number, but they gave me my own line. That's what I like to say. Yeah.
Well, well-deserved. You are a fine player on an outstanding team.
That was a fun time. That was a lot of fun. But, the name just quite wouldn't fit.
Well, my broadcast partner during those years, we were fortunate enough, Jack Powell and I, nice article the Finger Lakes Times wrote, and I said for all the many great people and fine teams I had a chance to broadcast, yours was our favorite.
Well, thank you.
My favorite.
I tell you time and again, we really enjoyed having those games on the radio. We used to listen to them over and over again.
39-38, Mynderse trying, they had established control in the last half of the second quarter, but now Newark has fought back. And Mynderse a little ruffled, need a good shot here, and Patswalaka's shot was a good one, but it won't go. So a chance for Newark, hustling to take the lead. Lombardi wanted it on the wing, but Wright with a pretty acrobatic move to the hoop and scores.
Micah Wright picking it up. I think he's got a 3. He's got 7 points out of the last 9, I think, for Newark. He's really picked it up this quarter, and they now have the lead.
I have them for 9 in this quarter, and the only other score is Lombardi with 5.
And Newark's really getting it done with 2 guys tonight.
Mynderse needs to remember what got him there, and Luke Ruddy with a left-handed move in the lane gives Mynderse the lead back.
There's a little contact down there. Coach Everilla wanted the charge, but a great move by Ruddy, and that's what Mynderse has to do, is they got to go inside and then work it to the out. And that's not what they traditionally do. They usually go outside in, but they really need to get that ball inside. Connor Miller's gone a little quiet this quarter. Here's the move. A little bit of a push off by Ruddy. Hey, Lombardi's a big kid. He's not easy to take down.
The intensity of the game is picked up, and we got ourselves a barn burner here at the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. Down to the final minute of quarter number 3. The bomb from outside, swish! Tyler Collins.
Newark's starting to heat it a little bit up at the end of this quarter. I think about 3 minutes to go. They were down 6, I think what I said.
Ruddy thought about it at the top of the key. Leaves for Patswalaka, gives him a pick. Brandon rolls to the lane and lays it up with the left hand.
He's smooth. Brandon's very smooth.
We're tied at 43. Wanting, firing, hitting! David Stone with a trifecta.
Both teams heating up, Dave.
Newark could not buy a perimeter basket after the first quarter or so the other evening, but they're making up for it now.
Now I'm interested to see here, Mynderse has not made a substitute this quarter, and Newark hasn't used too many people either, but they have put in a guy or 2. How does that affect Mynderse in the fourth quarter without any subs in the third quarter? Let's see if he comes out of the fourth quarter without some of his kids.
Dish off just slightly behind the cutter. Miller down court quickly to Stone and lays it up. No! And Lombardi with a hustling move almost tapped it in at the buzzer.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying watching these guys play. That quarter was a great end of the quarter, and Micah Wright and Lombardi are they have picked it up a notch intensity in their intensity, and I got to look forward to a good fourth quarter.
And we'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
The Newark Pilots. See tomorrow's Major League stars today. For more information, go to newarkpilots.com.
The most valuable things are always passed down from generation to generation. It's true for your family, and it's true for our bank. For more than 140 years at Generation do, and what will continue to do for generations into the future. We might look different now, but in the important ways, we're exactly like we've always been. Stop in your local branch or go to mygenbank.com.
While the 9-point lead that Mynderse enjoyed during halftime intermission has evaporated, and in that third quarter, particularly the last couple of minutes, they looked a little bit like a staggered prize fighter as they're trying to hang on. Now trail as they enter quarter number 4, 46-43. Lombardi getting an extra minute or so, won't be much longer than that.
Nope, and Mynderse came back out with the same 5 guys they finished with. Newark got Lombardi a rest. And you just showed the standings there. Jim put the standings up for us. Both teams at 4-2 in the league. And like I said earlier, The loser of this one is out of contention.
Ruddy with great patience on the block and used his body to shield a defender and lays it in to make it a 1-point game. Cool hand Luke with a big hoop there. 7.5 to go.
How long can they go without Lombardi and Dave? That's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. I got to imagine he'll probably be in somewhere in the 6 and change.
I would agree. He's played a superb game here for the Newark Reds. And inside, oh, if he could have caught that cleanly, it was an easy hoop for Rosser. And a whistle on a Newark foul and a loose ball, I believe.
We had a lot of whistles in the first half, and that's only the 4th foul called of the second half. And I kind of like that. Let the kids play a little bit. It's back and forth, and it's been an exciting second half.
Tomorrow I'll be taking the trip up the hill to see the Wildcats against Jim Sinacropi's Syracuse Orangemen.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Inside feed, Ruddy, back to the basket, turnaround. Some contact, no whistles, he missed the shot.
He missed that one, but they got the right idea. They got to keep going inside to him, and I just seen Lombardi. He's just went to the scores table to check back in for Newark.
And dish off. This is Rosser. And Ruddy with a rejection. The old Spalding burger. Pasalacqua, one of the few openings of the second half, buries the 3.
That was Jimmy Ricky with the 3, Dave.
I meant to say Ricky.
Yeah, Pasalacqua fed it off to him. Ricky nailed it. And, that's a big shot for Mynderse, who just took to regain the lead.
His first points of the second half, and it was a big one. 9 in the game, all on trifectas. 48-46, Mynderse, and Ruddy comes away with another rebound. He's had a bunch of them. Pasalacqua leaves for Ricky, thinking about it. Itchy finger, inside. Miller blocked, picked off, and Ruddy came and got the loose ball, and he drew the foul. Ruddy's really attacking the boards nicely.
Yes, he's kind of got Mynderse on his back right now, even though Ricky knocked down that 3. But when Mynderse is in trouble, they got to get down the post and get the ball to Luke Ruddy. He's still commanding a lot of respect down there. He's doing a great job.
Well, we got a timeout. We'd like to thank Dr. Rod Littlejohn for Orthodontics exclusively, celebrating 30 years of smiles with style. Visit www.littlejohnortho.com, and also Market Alternatives Insurance, serving Newark and the surrounding area, responding to the constantly changing needs of their customers. Visit them in downtown Newark or online at marketalternativesllc.com. Kevin, we still got a lot of basketball left here, and this one could go either way.
Yeah, Mynderse is Connor Miller slowed down this half, but Brandon Pasalacqua, Luke Ruddy, and Jimmy Ricky are still playing strong. And like I said, Mynderse didn't make a sub in the 3rd quarter, still hasn't made a sub in the 4th quarter. So let's see how they finish the game. Newark obviously relying on Michael Wright and Anthony Lombardi having an outstanding game. And let's see if any of these role players can step up and make a difference in this last 6 minutes of the game.
So Ruddy was not in the act, and neither team in the bonuses yet. And Ricky out front with it. Bounce pass, Miller turns in the hoop and lays it up and in.
That's a
nice
good set
feed.
play for Mynderse out of the timeout and off the inbounds. Get the ball into Connor. Connor made a nice turnaround jump shot. And a 4-point lead.
And give Connor a dozen on the night, and going down hard, and I think he's hurt his ankle a little bit, but he seems to be running it off just fine. That's Micah Wright. Every time I hear the name Micah, I can only think of the sheriff on the Rifleman. Inside, a battle for it, and
Ricky got away with a push down there under the basket, but Newark ended up with it anyway.
Newark, there's Lombardi, little head fake, wants to take it inside. Head fakes again, lays it up and in.
Inside and out all night long, Anthony Lombardi.
Great night for Anthony. I wonder if he goes by Anthony or Tony. That's another. He can go by Mr. Lombardi tonight.
That's right. He's demanding the respect of everybody in the gym.
He's got that chauffeur's license for the bus, as you mentioned. And jump off. The harassing, tenacious defense of Newark.
They've really stepped it up this half, haven't they, Dave? This is what I expect out of the Newark Reds. Every year, in and out. This is what they're used to, and they didn't have that going in the first half. They really have, they've stayed man-to-man, and they're quarter-court man-to-man, and they're really giving Mynderse fits, especially their guards.
Win or lose, I would say Coach Havrilla has to be pleased with the way his team's responded to that
absolutely
tough loss at Geneva earlier in the week.
And a sluggish first half here as well. They really came out the second half, and as a coach, you want your kids to play hard, you want to play tough defense.
Oh my, Lombardi.
And when a guy like that has a good night, you're happy.
Rainbow Robert Parrish jumper in the lane.
Yeah, Lombardi is doing everything.
0-0 out of Centenary as Ricky's three won't go, and a little bit too quick perhaps.
And of course, Lombardi with a rebound.
Each team with 50 on the board as we approach the 4-minute mark of the final quarter. Newark driving, turnaround in the lane, no, and loose ball fought for. Miller got the rebound, and here comes Ricky. Anderson back to Ricky, open for three. Can't get it to go. That was a good shot, it just didn't go for Jimmy. And flying through the lane and laying it up and in was Micah Wright, who's had a torrid second half.
Yep.
We got ourselves a timeout and a chance to remind our listeners that you're listening to watching FingerLakes1.com, and that one of our fine sponsors is Stever's Garage with complete bumper-to-bumper auto service. They'll pick up your car and leave you a free rental while they work. Call 315-568-8353 or visit jimmersauto.com.
Well, Mynderse missed their last couple threes. I think Ricky shot a couple good-look threes, not bad shots, and Newark capitalized on the other end to take this to a 2-point lead. And you're going to have to watch that down the end. Does Mynderse have the legs to continue to shoot the three? Are they going to get the ball inside the Runny and Miller? How are they going to attack? And Newark in the full court, man-to-man.
Well, the one thing is Newark presses is I think their tempo, or the Mynderse tempo, has been disrupted because of the pressure. And Passalacqua can't believe he was called for steps.
Yeah, I was a little surprised with that call myself. Newark called that timeout to put that full court press on. So as a coach, he's very happy that the timeout worked. He got the turnover, and it's a good coaching move for Newark.
Lombardi with Miller in his jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Ruddy out on Lombardi, see how he does on him. He's a little bit quicker than Connor. Connor's a little bit bigger, stronger inside, but I don't think quick enough to stay with Lombardi.
The drop back shot is good by Lombardi. On fire here in quarter number 4 in a 4-point Newark lead. Passalacqua driving, left-handed shot gets, oh my. Brandon got hit hard, and we hope he's okay, as his head actually also
His head bounced off the ground after he hit, and he was hit pretty hard. Here's Lombardi's shot. Step back jumper, Miller in his face, that's great defense, and just buried it. They gave him 2. The ref was in position, he called it and gave him 2.
Brandon always tries to lead when his team needs it the most, and I thought the call came a little late actually, and they seem to react almost to the reaction fall more than the contact above the floor. Shot is nothing but nylon.
Saddle up, Dave. We got a 54-51 ball game. Both teams playing pretty good. The intensity's great. The crowd's gotten into it, and we're going to see who pulls this one out. I think Mynderse is calling for a timeout on the make.
Well, as Matt Verke said, it's time and a half for overtime, and that's a possibility.
I hope it is.
Yes, Brandon hits both free throws. We'll keep it right here, a full timeout, a 2-point lead by Newark. A lot of fun here.
Oh, this is great. This is why you coach. This is why we love the game, Dave, you and I, and why we're happy to be here. And you got to wonder what's going on in each huddle here. I think Newark is going to try to say, we got to keep our defensive intensity up. We got to be physical inside. Offensively, keep attacking with Lombardi and Micah. And Mynderse on the other end, I hope they're talking about getting the ball inside, but their defensive intensity is what makes them go as well. And that's what makes this exciting, is both teams really like to get up, be active, get in the passing lane, and that's made for some exciting basketball the second half.
And I thought your comments in the third quarter were very appropriate, questioning would fatigue become a factor down the stretch here for the Blue Devils. As have they maybe made one substitution the entire half?
They haven't made a one. They haven't made a one.
Well, I'm not going in there, Kevin. You could.
Hey, coach, put me in. I'm ready to go. But I've noticed that about Mynderse when, you know, Fields will sometimes do that, and I used to watch it with Dylan Verke, and he always seemed to handle it, Dylan. He was a heck of an athlete. He worked really hard, and he never got a lot of blows, but always, you know, he must condition him pretty well. But I would like to see some of these guys get a little bit of blow, but at 3 minutes now, it's a little late, Dave.
And near 5-second count there as Mynderse applied full court pressure. Trying to respond in kind to the Reds. Top of the key, this is Rosser. He leaves for Wright, who's had a great second half. Outside shot, won't go, tapped up and out of bounds. They say off Waters.
That was off Newark. That was off Newark. That's a good shot by Collins, that pull-up jump shot. You know, that's a lost art in the game, and he's shot a couple of those tonight.
I believe he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he must not be a shooter.
Rosser had the open three at the top of the key, but he didn't take. Coming down to 2.5 to go in regulation. Good patience by Newark, pretty good defense by Mynderse. Ruddy, Passalacqua and Connor couldn't handle.
Newark reached up, just got a hand on enough to make a hard catch for Connor. That was a good knock away by Ricky.
It's a good pass, but maybe the bounce pass. I don't know.
Maybe a bounce pass. You can't get a hand on that pass if it's a bounce pass. And Newark just did a great effort there. That was hustle all the way. Now Mynderse full court, man-to-man. And I got an update on the Geneva game. Wayne has cut the lead to 10 in the fourth quarter, 62-52.
Making it exciting, and it's sure exciting here. 54-52, coming down to the 2-minute mark. Newark with the lead in the ball, 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Inside feed, getting the roll is Wright.
From Phil Tack on the pick and roll. That was a great entry pass on the roll.
I was hoping you'd catch who made that fine feed, and Mynderse in need of a bucket. Has Newark led by more than 4 at any point tonight? I don't think so.
No, I think you're right. I think 4 has been their biggest lead. Mynderse, of course, had a lead of 9 earlier in the second quarter.
Now, the other interesting thing, the first quarter was plagued, or I don't know if plague's the right word, but a great many calls, personal fouls by both teams. Not so much here in the second half.
You know, it's lopsided. It was 7-1 or 2 in the first quarter. Now it's the other way, 6-1.
Passalacqua.
Looks like Brandon got bumped there too.
He was bumped. No call. They did get the ball cleanly, and then Newark calls a timeout. 4-point lead, 1:20 left.
Well, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe at the end of the third quarter, Mynderse had 46 points.
That is correct. They led. No, 43.
43 points.
Because they trailed 46-43.
So they got 9 points this quarter. And again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but Mynderse starting to look a little ragged out there. Newark a little fresher. I haven't seen. I don't know if Kerher got hurt, but Kerher started the game. Hasn't been in there in the second half. I'm interested to see what happened to him. Newark now with a 4-point lead with 1:20 to go. Let's see how much time they can take off the shot clock. They got a 29-second shot clock. They can get to this under the minute with a 4-point lead. I think coach would take that.
Well, your point is well taken. They scored 35 points to Newark's 26 in the first half. So if my arithmetic's correct, that's just 17 points in all but 1:20 of the second half.
And the major component to that is Newark's man-to-man defense. They've really stepped up their intensity. But, it's tough to send 16, 17-year-old kids in there for a whole half without a break. And most of these kids didn't see much. I think Luke Ruddy's played the whole game. I think Brandon Passalacqua's played the whole game. And I think Jimmy Ricky's played the whole game.
They need a stop here in a hoop. Rosser out front. Open shot for Collins, doesn't get it, tapped up, and just getting to the board, missing the shot, and a big break for Mynderse, and they're flat-footed, and we're really fortunate that I think that was Rosser didn't
Jamie
lay
Rosser,
that in.
He's out jumping him, he's out quicking him to the ball, but fortunately for Mynderse, he couldn't put the ball in the hole.
Passalacqua will try to lead the offense here. Takes it inside, misses, but Ruddy there for the rebound. Do we see a quick timeout? No, we see full court pressure, 2-point game. Down court, Lombardi. He's been player of the night so far.
We've got a 1 second differentiation with shot clock. Newark does not have to shoot.
And they throw the basketball away.
Newark should have used the timeout there and told the kids, we don't have to take a shot. And I think coach was thinking about it. He was thinking about it, and he never got the timeout, and he really should have settled his cards down and said, shot clock's off, boys. There was a 1 second differentiation. Even if it goes off, Mynderse got to go full court in 1 second. So they really should be on the foul line right now, and they're not. And Coach Everill is probably pretty upset with himself about that.
Yeah, I would have thought that maybe with 10 seconds left, no less than that, Coach Fields would have said, you got to foul, but it didn't get to that point. We'll keep it right here, 56-54. Mynderse with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3-ball with just 25.7 seconds. I think I quickly run a set to get the ball inside to Ruddy. You always take overtime in the cozy confines of your gym, and here, especially with the crowd the way it's going tonight, I look for Mynderse to try to get the ball inside to Connor Miller or Luke Ruddy and try to tie this game up. Come down, defend Newark, and see what happens. They may go for a 3 if it's open. They certainly have the 3-point shooters out there with Anderson and Ricky, but Mynderse really should try to get the ball inside to Ruddy right now. Ruddy did a nice job. Passalacqua took it to the hole, evaded the defenders, but then could not get his layup to go, but Ruddy's follow-up.
He's done that a lot this quarter. Passalacqua's been getting it in there, not doing a lot with it, but that time it ended up in the right guy's hands. So we got Anderson, Miller, Ricky, Ruddy, and this is Passalacqua. Newark could also foul here, Dave. Newark could foul and force Mynderse to set up an out-of-bounds play. But it looks like they're going to play straight up man-to-man. Ruddy could have been called for the offensive. Anderson back to Passalacqua. We're down to 5 seconds left in the contest. Throws up a runner. They call a timeout with 1.3 seconds left. They should have 3 or 4 seconds. I don't know if they'll roll back and talk that over as officials, but you got to give a couple seconds to count down. And they were calling for a timeout right away. And we watched the replay right here, and quite frankly, it reminded me an awful lot of some horrible end of the game plays by NBA where they just go one-on-one and wait. It seems like too long. Yep. But Passalacqua got the roll off the glass. He did. 2 things there. One, they did try to run Jimmy Ricky off a baseline screen to get him a shot in the corner. Didn't happen. Brandon has made things happen for Mynderse Academy year in and year out. He's never the leading scorer. He just, when he has the ball at the end of the hands, I've seen him do it many times in sectionals and in giant games. I come more to the big games than I do a game I know they might walk over a team. But when the ball is in his hands at the end of the game, you have to feel comfortable. Now, with that being said, Newark could have fouled, but would have been 17 fouls. I'm sorry, you're right. I was looking at the fouls wrong, Dave. Thanks for correcting me on that. Mynderse would have went to the foul line if they fouled. Possible, Ruddy made some pretty good contact as he did. Pivoted into Lombardi. A good no call if you're a Mynderse fan, not so good if you're a Newark fan. They did put a fraction of a second back, 2.1 seconds. Got nobody on the ball. Here it is, the Magic Man. Will fire up a heave. Oh, double clutch, half-court shot off the front rim. You might be too young to remember Pat Dunley. I am. Where he threw up, I think in this gymnasium, a bomb to send it to overtime. Look at that. At any rate, time and a half for overtime, ladies and gentlemen, 56 apiece. We're going to play an extra 4 minutes or more. The Kentucky Duke game, Dave, that reminded me of a little bit when Leitner made the catch from Grant Hill. They had no one on the inbounds pass, Rick Pitino, and Mynderse just did the same thing. I think it's really important to put somebody on the inbounds pass in that situation to make that pass difficult. They got it right to Lombardi where they wanted it. He got a great look at the basket, even though it was from half court, and just missed.
One thing, Kevin, we'll see, fatigue seemed to be a factor in the much of the second half.
Yep.
But Passalacqua has been the leading scorer in the second half for Mynderse. He has 8, and he has 13 for the game. Lombardi, 27 points unofficially, as Mynderse gets the tap, and Anderson had a layup, but he bounced it off his foot.
And that looked like a nice play for Mynderse off the tap. They certainly had the ball in the right spot, but Anderson just fumbled it and lost it. Let's see how they handle the nerves too, Dave. A little overtime game.
It's been a little two-ball. Oh, what hustle by both teams.
Ricky with a nice save.
Ricky saves to Passalacqua, and Brandon cool as the other side of the pillow. And Miller is fouled, and that will send him to the line for a 1-and-1.
A little touchy down there. You know, at this point in the game, I think both coaches would rather see a little bit more physical play, but one reached over.
Mynderse has only shot 2 foul shots in the second half. Newark has shot 0.
Yep. Now there's a big rebound by Ruddy off Connor Miller miss. And again, back to the fatigue on these free throws. Let's see how Mynderse does with those free throws towards the end of the game.
They spread the court with Passalacqua at the point. Ruddy in the corner. Back to Brandon. Tied at 56. 1 minute into the 4-minute overtime. They're begging Passalacqua to take the shot. And he does. Left-handed set shot, no. And it looks like, well, we're on the other side of the court. At first I thought Lombardi knocked it out of bounds.
I thought Mynderse was going to get it back. You know, that's the scouting report on Brandon. You can't get up too tight on him, let him go by you. You got to make him shoot the 3.
An exciting, scintillating game between the Newark Reds and the Mynderse Academy Blue Devils. And here's a steal. Anderson laid up, and that's trapped against the glass. I thought that's an
that isn't
goaltending call.
No. That is no longer goaltending.
Okay,
and he pinned it against the glass. It wasn't already on the glass. He went up and pinned it himself. That is not goaltending. That's a good no call by the official.
And an outstanding athletic move by the Newark Reds. Was that right on that?
I don't know if it was right or Rosser, but it was a great steal by Anderson to get it out there, and then a great recovery and block.
And the first point of the overtime scored by Miller at the line for the Blue Devils. And a 1-point lead.
See if Mynderse picks up full court here, if they get back and pick up quarter-court line.
Friendly home rim roll, 58-56. Rosser with it, top of the key, swing it to Lombardi. Ruddy is on him now, not giving him an opening if he can help it. He hasn't needed a lot of openings. And here's a slap away, but Mynderse, as they got the steal.
Yeah, Ricky got away with a foul there. That was right in front of us. I heard the slap from here. You know, Coach Avarello is barking, and he's barking for good reason.
Mynderse, this is right. No, but a foul. And that should send Micah to the line.
And on that one, it looked like Ruddy got himself in pretty good position. Maybe if he takes the fall, he gets a charge, but he seemed to beat the guy to the spot.
Wright had 4 for 4 from the foul line in the first half. That's all he scored in the first half.
I think that was in the first quarter.
And he scored 13 here in the second half, 17 on the night, as he misses a critical shot, which in overtime, of course, they're all critical.
Yes, they are. Ron Derek Morris just checked in the game for Tyler Collins for Newark.
So blocking out is also critical here as Wright gets the second. 1-point game. Ricky leaving for Anderson, right up and in. Great penetration and dish off.
Well, I talked about the fatigue, but Fields knows his kids best. He's been pressing, he's been running them, and they seem to be doing all right with it, Dave.
Driving and slapped away by Miller, picked off by Ruddy.
Great defensive slide to get in help position by Connor Miller, and he gets a big block from Mynderse.
Still a one-possession game, but
That could have been a big
Ricky
shot.
could have made it 2 with a 3-pointer. 1.5 to go. Near turnover by Newark.
And got to get the ball in Lombardi's hands here. Let him see if he can make some penetration against Ruddy.
My buddy Harold Weber used to call this double bear aspirin time. Shot clock at 7. Shot, rims, no. Rebound, right. Leaves for Lombardi. Head fake, slapped away by Ruddy. Scramble for the ball. Who's got it? Newark, and the bucket, and the timeout. Jamie Rosser with the overtime. The first field goal of the overtime with just under a minute to play in OT.
In fact, looks like Lombardi's getting a little tired under there, but he makes this great dive to keep the ball alive for Jamie Rosser, and Jamie gets easy too off of Lombardi's hustle.
Sometimes those head fakes work. 100 years ago, used them myself, and Ruddy that time was very calm, waiting, and went up and made the plays.
And that's why, you know, he's long and he's quick off his feet, so we can afford that patience. We got a minute left here. Newark should play solid man-to-man defense. I don't know if they'll full court press or not, but they don't need the foul, but they do need to get a stop, and they'll have plenty of time to come down if do so.
Well, an awful lot of effort put out on the court by both teams for the full 32 plus 3 minutes so far. And it's going to be a tough pill to swallow for whichever team leaves the Gymnasium a loser tonight.
Yep, well, Mynderse got the 1-point advantage now. They're playing at home. Every whistle they get is 1-1. The rest of the way, it's going to be a shooting foul. So they got a little bit of advantage right now, and see if they can hold on to it for this last 60 seconds. Yep, full court man-to-man by Newark. Ball in the pass up.
And Paswalakwa has the inbound
I thought they had
speed.
a nice spot to trap right there,
And Coach Hevrilla has to be saying no need to foul, no need to fouls. And Paswalakwa,
there's a foul.
There's a foul. Will send Ruddy to the line as Paswalakwa drove and left for the cutter Ruddy, and he was hit pretty hard by Phil Tack, as we'll see it right there.
Yeah, and a lot of Mynderse offense this half has been Paswalakwa drive, Paswalakwa drive. They're doing a lot of dribble drives with Paswalakwa to try to create some offense.
Great job by cameraman Jeremy Hunt. Does an outstanding job for Finger Lakes One Sports.
Absolutely.
Ruddy shot, good. Now, even if he makes this, 2 things. It still would remain a 1-possession game at 3, the lead. But Newark doesn't necessarily have to go for 3 with 44 seconds.
Well, this is definitely a time in the game where you don't want to think 3. You got plenty of time. 62-59. You want to put the pressure back on Mynderse. You go inside. If you get an open 3, Dave, obviously you take it, but you just don't want to rush a bad shot. You want to get a good quality shot here out of your team. And he's got the whiteboard out, and he's ready to draw up his play, see what he can get going for his team here.
Now, the next foul would be the double bonus for Mynderse, as Newark has 19 fouls. And next Friday, the very high-flying Wayne Eagles, although maybe not so much tonight as they were trailing at Geneva, will be here, as you see, to play Mynderse. Dave Barnick, along with Kevin Korzaneski, class of 1990. Where is that? Where is that year? 92?
1992, Dave. About 21 years ago. And I just got word in that Geneva did beat Wayne. So Geneva is the lone undefeated team in the Finger Lakes East. And now this team, the winner of this game will be 1 behind second place. It'll be a game behind second place in third, and the loser will probably doesn't have much of a shot at winning the league. Mynderse in the full court man-to-man.
And they can foul as long as it's not a shooting foul, to just slow up the pace if they choose to. They're not looking to do that. Yes, they are, and Miller does that because they still have, as they say,
have the fouls
to give.
Fouls to give. And I was confused earlier in the game and thought it was the other way around, but Mynderse is the team. that has the fouls to give, and they just use them wisely.
I think the officials overall have not been noticed that much. Have
No,
done
I think
a
they're
great
calling a good
job.
game.
There's a stop and pop from the sophomore, won't go. Rebound, Newark. No, but a foul. And precariously close to the potential old-fashioned three-point play.
Late in this game, Jamie Rosser's been a beast on the offensive glass. That time he just got good position on Connor Miller, went up, got the rebound, and then we got a foul on Ruddy.
And that's his third, according to the scoreboard. And badly misses the free throw.
Looks like Newark's the one without the fresh legs right now. They missed a free throw last time. They just missed another one there. Looks like Havarilla's coming in with a quicker team to pick up full court man-to-man and maybe get a steal.
We got 27.7 seconds left in the overtime. Rosser misses two. Rebound Miller. They got to go for the foul, and I thought he got hacked pretty good, and now they call it with 21.6 seconds left. And that will be the double bonus.
That was a great play by Connor. He went up, got the rebound. Newark was very aggressive climbing up some of the Mynderse players on the rebound. And then two or three guys attacked Connor. May have got fouled, may have got away with the travel, but he did the right thing. He dribbled out of trouble and got fouled. Now he's on the line for an easy one.
Oh, he gives it a little body English as he scores unofficially his 15th point of the night.
Yep, and that takes it to a two-possession game for the Newark Reds, so they got to get down and get a 2 or 3 pretty quick here. And I'm still thinking 2. There's 21 seconds left on the clock.
And for about the third time tonight, Mynderse gets a very friendly, high-arching row. Newark's going to have to get up there quickly, nearly throw it away. Lombardi, the bomb, bang! And a timeout. And a 2-point game.
Where has that been the last 8 to 10 minutes? You know, they got to get him some looks. It accidentally ends up in his hands, and there he's bearing another left-handed baseline three-pointer, which I think is his 5th from the left-hand side this evening.
I've got him for 6 trifectas, Special K. And
that's one heck of a night.
And I think 30 on the night. We're going to add these up. I had him for 16 first half points and 30 in the game.
Well, he's having one heck of a night.
Under duress in that one.
Oh, yeah.
He had the clock on his mind, no doubt, and a flailing arm of a Mynderse defender. So now Mynderse must take care of the basketball, and Havrilla is saying, go for the steal. Don't get the steal, get the foul. Quick foul.
Yep. And let's see what Mynderse does. If they just try to inbound it, sometimes teams like to spread teams out and go deep on this, with Newark really overplaying, but they have Lombardi back there as a safety, so Mynderse should be just trying to get the ball into their best foul shooter right now.
Ruddy looking, finds pass for
foul,
Rocco, and he gets bumped and almost went into the scorer's table. He tried to give a gentle foul, but they didn't call it. And only 2.2 seconds went off the clock.
I thought a little more would have went off with him turning down the sideline, but sometimes that happens in the game. The first foul doesn't go noticed, and then the second foul comes a lot harder than the first, and the officials got to keep an eye on that first foul.
Big foul shots, and he gets the roll.
This is a big one.
You would think all but sew up the contest if he could get this shot to go in a 4-point lead.
Well, you know, Brandon's clutch, and I've said it a couple times tonight, and there wouldn't be another guy I'd rather have on the line for Mynderse right now taking this foul shot.
Second shot is good.
Mynderse doesn't even need to guard, just let him go down. No,
they do foul because they had fouls to give.
Yeah, the only thing you want to be careful is an intentional foul. These are 16, 17-year-old kids. One of them reaches out a little too hard. 2 shots and the ball. Worst case scenario, let him score, let the clock run out. Back off completely, Mynderse should right here.
Passive resistance at best. But they're going with the other strategy. And the next foul would be a 1-and-1, so Coach Miller, I'm sure, is telling his team no more fouls. Just 3.3 seconds left, unless we got a Reggie Miller play here. And in the corner, the shot almost went in, but no. And that'll do it. A tough, exciting, back-and-forth victory for the Mynderse Academy Blue Devils against a very game and tenacious Newark Red team. Kevin.
Yeah, Newark came out in the second half, guns a-blazing on the defensive end. Really disrupted what Mynderse did. Pasolacco and Ruddy down the stretch did a great job finishing the game off for Seneca Falls. And a really, really well-played game by both teams.
Well, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a commercial timeout, and then we'll be back. Do you want me to hold on that? Yeah, we'll be right back in 2 minutes with cool hand Luke Ruddy of the Mynderse Academy Blue Devils. Great game. Great game.
Attention Finger Lakes residents, have you been injured and deserve compensation? Call Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys. Your case deserves personal attention. At Mynderse and Ricky, they know you by name, not just a number on a folder. Call the Finger Lakes Personal Injury Hotline at 315-568-0911. That's 315-568-0911. Mynderse and Ricky, your hometown personal injury attorneys.
The Newark Pilots. See tomorrow's Major League stars today. For more information, go to newarkpilots.com.
The most valuable things are always passed down from generation to generation. It's true for your family, and it's true for our bank. For more than 140 years at Generations Bank, we did you what we do, and what we'll continue to do for generations into the future. We might look different now, but in the important ways, we're exactly like we've always been. Stop in your local branch or go to mygenbank.com.
Well, we're wrapping up a tremendous basketball game from Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. At halftime, the Blue Devils appeared to be on their way to posting a victory. They certainly hadn't secured it, leading by 9, but a tenacious effort by Newark brought Newark not only back into the game, but they had a lead. Pasolacco's bank shot with 2 seconds left in regulation sent it to overtime, and then in overtime, Mynderse escapes with a 66-62 overtime victory over the always tough Newark Reds. And one of the heroes of the game, outstanding all-around effort, Luke Ruddy, kind enough to join us. First of all, congratulations, Luke.
Thank you.
And how would you assess the ball game tonight?
Well, we started off good and got a good lead going into the halftime. And then Newark came out and had a good run to start the second half. And we were able to weather the storm, and luckily we had Brandon who could make the buzzer beater at the end to send it into overtime.
It looked like whatever play that Coach Fields may have sent in for that last shot at the end of regulation evaporated, and forcing Brandon to just throw it up towards the end. I assume you had a set play to go to.
Yeah, the play was actually designed for me to come off a pick, but Newark was able to switch and it wasn't open, so Brandon just had to create his own shot.
Well, let's talk about some of the participants tonight. First of all, Anthony Lombardi. Were you aware of him being able to shoot that well from the outside?
No, I knew he was going to shoot a couple, but I wasn't expecting to make them 5 or 6 or how many he had.
6 threes, 30 points in the game, although you did come up with a critical block shot late in the contest, which helped lead to the victory tonight. He played outstanding. And your other twin tower inside, Connor Miller, unofficially with 16 points and a real big first half for you guys, came up big.
Mm-hmm. Connor and I have to control the rebounds in the paint, and we did a good job of that, and Connor did good.
They seem to deny the three-point shots, which Mynderse is so fond and so good at shooting for much of the evening, and a lot more went on the inside game, the pick and rolls, you pounding the boards, and you came through with flying colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were guarding our shooters pretty tight, and we had to work it down low, and we did get a few threes, but it was mostly inside.
Now, no player usually ever wants to come out of a game, but in fact, if we're correct, there were 0 substitutions by Mynderse for the entire second half, including overtime. Were you aware of that?
No, I didn't notice that.
Fatigue did seem to be a factor at a point during the stretches of the second half. But it almost seemed like you guys gained a little more energy in the overtime.
Yeah, Brandon's shot definitely gave us a boost of energy and really pumped us up going into overtime.
Well, this was a game which allows you the opportunity, Luke, to keep alive the dreams of at least a part of the Finger Lakes East title. As we said, 2 undefeateds matched up tonight with Geneva winning over Wayne. What do you guys have to do different when you go against them in the second go-round?
Well, we're just going to have to play more physical and control the paint because they had a lot of easy baskets when we played both of them the first games, and we got to do a better job of that.
Well, Luke, I enjoyed your effort. My congratulations to you, your coaching staff, and all of your teammates. Continued success, and we will be back here next Friday to see you take on Wayne. Who's your game before that? Do you know?
Pelmac on Tuesday.
So, which we saw you open the season with here. So, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Outstanding game, and
Thanks.
keep it going forward.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Luke Ruddy, one of the many heroes in a tremendous game, and the kind of game that, quite frankly, you don't have to get paid for. You would pay. It was worth the price of admission, as they say, Mr. Korzaneski.
If every game was like this, I'd be here every single night. It was an exciting game, close game. We had some great individual performances from obviously number 1 Anthony Lombardi, which I don't know if it got brought up, but Luke Ruddy did a great job on him in the fourth quarter and into overtime.
He made that critical block. Was one of the things.
Yeah, he did. He really did a good job of that. But Lombardi stole the show for Newark in a losing effort, and I feel bad for him. You hate to have a game like that and then come out as a loss in the win-loss column. But Mynderse down the stretch, I thought Brandon Pasalako did a great job off the dribble drive. Sometimes he went in there, got a little too deep, a little reckless, but it really created much of Mynder's offense in the fourth quarter and in overtime.
Well, Brandon, the saying goes, is one of those guys who will do whatever it takes to win, including tonight, giving his team a chance to win at overtime, as the play was designed and broke down in regulation, and he got the friendly kiss off the glass, forcing the overtime against. Boy, I don't have enough good things to say about Newark, as they just played tremendously.
Yeah, the second half they came out
tooth and nail.
If it wasn't for Lombardi in the first half, they would have been down 15 to 20 points. And the second half they come out and they did. They fought tooth and nail, and as well Mynderse did. Sometimes you talk about the team that lost, how hard they worked, but Mynderse put in a pretty darn good effort out there tonight, and deservedly so with a win. But yeah, coming off that Geneva game in that first half, I thought Newark really rebounded well. They played hard, and they got to take that intensity into every game for the rest of the year for Coach Avarilla.
Well, Kevin, lots of sports going on. We have on the national scene, but we really didn't get into the football, but that's okay.
No time in that.
Go for the Packers. Go for the Packers.
Go for Packers. Watch out for the Falcons this weekend, folks.
I agree. 2 picks of the week right there.
There you go. You heard them here first.
And Houston to keep it closer than most people expect.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we left out one since we're doing it. Denver to win easily.
Easily over the Ravens.
We hope. Anyway, let's run down the scoring real quickly. Tyler Collins with 5. Derek Morris with a bucket for 2. David Stone with 3 points. Jamie Rosser for 2, but a great job defensively and on the boards. Phil Tack with 2. Micah Wright with 14 second half points, 18 in the game. And Newark's outstanding effort, 6 trifectas and 30 points on the night for Anthony Lombardi. On the other side of the ledger, we had Jimmy Rickey, 3 trays for 9 points. Jason Anderson for 9. Connor Miller with 16 points. And the guys who got it done with the thrilling shot at the end of regulation, Brandon Paswalakwa had 15, and 10 of those 15 were in the second half. And 17 points and probably almost as many rebounds by Luke Ruddy, and half dozen or so block shots, for a total of 66. Great game between the two teams.
It was a great game, and I think if you talked to Coach Avarella, and I hit on it quick earlier, that if you came in here, you held Mynderse to about 5 or 6 3-pointers in their own gym, you'd probably come out here with a W. But Mynderse seems to really now starting to concentrate and get the ball inside to Miller and Ruddy, and you know, you got to take that into sectionals. I mean, they still have a shot at the league title, but you know, that's going to be a tough team come sectional time because they're not relying on the three like in the years past. They're going to shoot the three and they're going to shoot it well, but if they're not, they have the tandem inside to go to.
Well, Kevin, always a pleasure to see you or Mr. Verke, two members of that famous 91-92 championship team. But tonight on the court, two champions battling it, and Mynderse prevailing 66-62 over Newark in overtime. Want to thank Finger Lakes One owner, producer, director Jim Sinacropi, our ace cameraman Jeremy Hunt, and again, Kevin, this is Dave Barnick saying good night, everybody, and may the force be with you.